Hey, it's Elliot Wilson from Rap Radar. And me and my partner, B.Dot Miller. And you know we got the premier website out there, rapradar.com. And now we're about to take over the podcast game. We're going to sit down with the culture's most important voices and give you that news and information, that opinion. The only opinion that matters, man, here at Rap Radar. Listen up. Here we go. Yeah, Rap Radar Podcast, Elliot Wilson.
B.Dot.
This episode is sponsored by
Bevel.
Woo! Who's making more noise than Tristan Walker out here, man?
Nobody.
Except us. If you're not from Queens, you ain't making noise out here.
Yo, Tristan Walker is cornering the market, as they say, man.
He already got the best product, Bevel, which gets you your shaving system right. The best shaving system out there. He's taking it to another level with this trimmer.
Yo, I seen the trimmer. This shit looks like a lightsaber, man. It's like something from the Jetsons. I encourage everyone to go on the website, check out this shaver. I'm going to the barber with my own set of clippers. It's so fly.
Yeah, so that's going to enhance. But first, you have to join the cult, man. You got to join. You got to join Bevel, man. If you haven't at this point, I don't know what you're waiting on, man. Anthony Soleil knows. You see, that's our homie. Yep. He's part of that whole movement, the Bevel situation, man. Have you gotten yours yet, Peter?
I haven't got mine yet, but I'm on my way using that 20%.
That trimmer got you in. That little last trimmer thing got
that
you.
Trimmer, man. That thing looks so fly.
Shout out to Nas. Nas made that shit look cool, man.
Yo, Nas's line in the commercial was so sharp. It looked like a 90 degrees angle, man. I was like, yo, this shit is fly, man. Shout out to Bevel.
But the reason why Tristan Walker started this whole thing, man, is because he wants you guys to look better out here, man. No more razor bumps.
Word.
Can't be looking sloppy out here.
Your skin looking like tree bark. You got bird seeds underneath your neck. Nasty.
Gotta believe in Bevel, baby. Elevate your shave game, man.
Yes.
Say goodbye to those razor bumps. And if you roll with Rap Radar, they get that special 20% discount, right?
Yes, 20% off, man. You can't beat that.
Hit that code RADAR.
Radar.
20% off, man. GetBevel.com.
Yes.
So another winner, though, man. Uncle Murder, BK's finest, baby.
East New York.
East New York, man. Feedback's been kind of crazy on that, man.
I think it was unexpected.
Right?
I love the fact that Murder was so enthusiastic about, coming on, and that we knew actually about his music.
He admitted he didn't get shot.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
He was disappointed. It's just the windshield.
Yeah, but I think the fact that Uncle Murder is underrated, and like from the reviews and the feedback that I've gotten on Twitter and Instagram and things like that, it's like, yo, he gained new fans from that interview.
Yeah,
I think
people didn't realize what a fan you were, and I think you educate a lot of people on his music, and I think hey man, this Rap Radar podcast might be a great platform for you artists out here, man.
Hey, listen, studies show.
We're not going to take all of you, man. We're real selective, but still, not enough to be here.
What are the people on iTunes saying?
iTunes, man, we got some new comments, man. Once again, man, the key to success, baby, is you got to subscribe to the Rap Radar podcast, because when you subscribe, just go to iTunes, hit that subscribe button, you immediately get the episode, because there's times where we'll put the episode up on Play It, like our man Pat will put it up on Play It.
Yep.
But it takes a minute to sync to the iTunes. But if you subscribe, you get it right away. So make sure you subscribe to the Rap Radar podcast, and also you need to leave some rate the podcast, give us some reviews. We got some recent reviews. Let me read it from my man Chris A32.
Okay.
He says, this is the best podcast out there, best guests, and very insightful. Keep it up, Wyan and B.Dot.
He's not lying.
A man, a few words. But I shout out to Chris. Then somebody, BD Knight, or BDNGNT, left a comment, said, every time I listen to this podcast, I become a bigger fan of the artist, just like we were saying,
yep.
Uncle Murder. There's somebody, Go Lakers, says, love the podcast. Thank you for all the hard work y'all put in to provide quality content for the listeners. Would love to see Travis Scott up there sometime, too. We've been trying to get Travis Scott up here.
I don't think he's, I think he's anti-social.
He's always nice when I think I put a picture up. He's always nice when I see him, but he never give me an interview. I can't do a crowd. I can't do a podcast. We trying to get him and Mike Dean, man. We have some ideas. We have a lot of things that don't happen. Like, people be surprised. Like,
yeah, it does. A lot of things fall through.
And we came that close to getting Jeremiah. We could blow up spots now that we didn't do it. Yeah. We had Jeremiah canceled the day of. Like, we try to serve you guys, man. Shit.
Any more though? Any other?
Yeah, there's another one. Two more comments that came in. This is Tremendous Kid. Says, you guys are giving real content, which hip-hop needs at this moment. A lot of kids in my generation, the 90s, parentheses, I was born in 94, are truly ignorant to some of the hip-hop biggest moguls. For example, L.A. Reid, Leroy Cohen, and then even the Beanie Siegel interview. It was great receiving this knowledge, which led me to do some research. Also bringing emerging artists like G-Eazy, Troy Ave, is also refreshing. Thank you for the amazing content. Stay blessed and enjoy giving us some great topics for 2016. Look at that. Look at the love, man. We need some hate, man.
Where's the hate, Elliot? All this sappy good
it's too
shit.
Positive, man.
Who hates us? Anyone there?
And then the last one was just saying the mixtape list was pretty good, but what about they wanted the Erykah Badu mixtape to be on there.
Oh, okay.
That joint was fire, the Andre 3000 flip. Another record everybody loves, man, is the Pimp a Butterfly album, man.
Pimp a Butterfly.
11 nominations.
11, man.
And who's our guest today? The guy who's our guest today, to me, he's like the secret weapon of that album. Like, he's the hidden hand.
Yeah.
He's credited on like about 5 or 6 tracks, but I feel his fingerprints all over that project.
Terrace Martin, man.
Terrace Martin.
The man, the myth, the producer. He's like...
So he's a saxophonist. That's his bread and butter, right? He plays a hell of a saxophone. Yeah, yo, Pat, get impressed, baby. This is a real musician we're about to bring in here. This ain't one of these rapper guys or producers to be hitting pads. This guy can play the hell out of a saxophone.
Yeah.
Songwriter, arranger, producer. Snoop Dogg put him on the game, right? I think he's at a very young age.
Puff actually did too.
Oh, okay.
Puff had him like 97, I believe.
He's worked with Quincy Jones, and now he was played a monumental role. Him and Soundwave are building the TDE sound. And you see, like, Kendrick going in so much more of a jazzy direction with his music, the Untitled live performances he's done. So we just clicked like, yo, we should do Terrace. It makes sense. To get some insight.
That Top Dog, man, he's getting a little a collective man out there on the West Coast.
A Monopoly. Yeah. Top Dog, Top's playing Monopoly out here. He controls the game.
He's got the rappers. He's got the engineers. He's got this collective of producers, man. Listen.
He said, K-Dot said it was West Coast Mafia.
It seems like
that last Untitled too.
It seems like it.
But I know he was on the original Untitled. Once again, like, I just feel like, with the Grammys coming up, that record's, obviously one of the most important records of the culture. This guy lived and breathed the whole fucking album for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Plus, right? We voted the Black of the Berry, the Black of the Berry,
one of the best beats
on our list. So
he was a co-producer of that.
Yeah, with Boy Wonder,
and we made To Pimp a Butterfly #1. So
absolutely,
we want to get his perspective on To Pimp a Butterfly, what's going on with his career, all this wonderful stuff, man. You're gonna enjoy it. The insiders, man. Terrace Martin. We'll be right back with the Rap Radar podcast.
Yeah.
Introducing Play.it, a podcast network like no other. From award-winning news programming and #1 sports brands to entertainment and business leaders, Play.it is delivering storytelling at its best.
We're going to be having conversations with newsmakers and culture shapers.
I will be talking mostly about fashion and how I've been marketing all of my life.
Tech, culture, and entrepreneurship.
Everything in the world of sports entertainment and wrestling and beyond.
Hear what you've been missing at Play.it.
Hey, it's Ellie Wilson from Rap Radar. And me and my partner, B.Dot Miller, man. The only opinion that matters, man, here at Rap Radar.
Yo, B-Dot, this episode is also sponsored by
Rap Chat.
Rap Chat, baby.
Yeah.
We spoke to those guys, man. I like their style, man.
I like
Tell everybody about Rap Chat that may not know what it is.
Well, Rap Chat's kind of new, man. It's an app that lets you record raps over beats and share them with your friends in social media. I'm actually about to download it right now as we speak.
There's hundreds of dope beats to choose from. Beats are added weekly. So they supply you with the tracks. The tracks is locked and loaded. They got some good beats on there, man. All you got to do is just get the bars up, man. You got to lace those tracks, man. You got some bars? You talking about you can rap?
I can't rap, but I'm going to try.
We got Terrace Martin coming up. He's working with one of the probably the best rapper in the game. Like, Drake, Kendrick, that level of rapper. Can you rap?
Listen, I can't rap.
Should you be on Rap Chat?
I think. But check this out. This is the best part about Rap Chat. It's free.
Free, baby. You can harness your skills, man. What better way to test your skill level over beats that are provided for you, whether you're an upcoming rapper or just looking to have some fun with friends? That's a great get drunk party game, to get your raps on.
Yeah, people are doing lip syncing challenges and things like that on Instagram and social media. Just do it with Rap Chat. It makes it easier.
And Rap Chat already has 500,000 people already on the app.
We're about to have 500,000 one. I'm downloading as we speak. It's free.
500,010 people that listen to the Rap Radar podcast.
Absolutely.
But make sure you download the app, man. Seeing is believing. It's called Rap Chat. RAPCHAT. You can download it today for free in the App Store with the Android version. The Android version is coming soon, but for now, for the iPhone users, man, download that today for free at the Apple Store, man. And once again, it's called Rap Chat.
Rap Chat.
Yeah, looking smooth. Terrace Martin, baby. Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight, man.
Some late night sessions, man. To Pimp a Butterfly. Took a long time.
Have a
Kendrick
seat,
said
man.
there's no food through this process, man. Y'all can't eat.
I was killing that food budget.
You said you only had Patron. That was it. No food.
Patron, yep.
A Patron diet.
Patron, but no, then it switched up and had what was the liquor?
A little close to the mic.
Casadores became the tequila of choice.
Oh, I'm not up on that. Are you up on that, beat
Not
up?
done that yet.
And then it went
Casadores.
to this organic vodka called Rain at Bevmo.
That'll sneak up on you.
Yeah,
Organic vodka, right?
You don't even
Yeah.
oh, it's cool. It's cool.
You're like, this is light. Then you like,
Dude, remember that night we got the first I discovered organic vodka because I really wanted some vodka anyway. So I go to Bevmo, me and my cousin Rashad, a couple of years ago. This is like a Soul Train award, no, like a BET some weekend in LA. So we like, man, we got a rental car, so the police ain't gonna trip. We got the red cups, get the vodka. So this lady said, hey, you guys, we have a new display. We got this Rain vodka. It's organic. You know, and I'm kind of up on my cool shit. You know
Yeah.
right. Organic vodka.
I've seen you carrying like a glass of wine in the interview, like a
you
little
feel
white
me?
wine.
Yeah,
You're a
hang
smooth
it.
brother. Yeah.
So I'm like, what? So I bought it. We went in the parking lot and tasted it right there. Like, oh, this is. So we bought 4 more bottles because it's only $18 a bottle, and it's better than
nobody's up
Can
on it.
One
Right.
with,
Yeah.
it's 7 times distilled and everything.
Crazy.
That's important to me.
So was that the key to these incredible sessions? Like, the liquor had to be flowing.
Nah, really, nah. But that was me and Thundercat, and you know, our thing. But you know, the key to them sessions was just when you got to the door, you didn't go in. Like, you just became a vessel of the music. And it was like a Voltron. It wasn't just a Terrace Martin, a Thundercat, or that guy. It was like all of us really just like the biggest ego in the room was the music, you know. And it wasn't even talked about. It wasn't even like we didn't chant before the situation.
It wasn't the Quincy Jones sign in the door saying that. It didn't have to even have that.
Yeah, no.
Check your ego at the door.
Nah,
Remember
it was like you know, the music is coming out great collectively. We're listening. We're respecting each other's opinion.
Yeah.
You know. And just going in and just knocking it out.
Plus, you face this incredible challenge of following what's looked at as a classic album. Good Kid, Mad City redefined the modern day hip hop classic. So you come in as a musician, student of the game. That's a heavy toll to, like, you know, how do we follow this up with all eyes on us? Like,
man,
what's Kendrick's next move?
We don't think like that. I think Punch thinks like that. I think Punch is
because he listens to guys like me and B-Dot sometimes.
No, yeah, I see y'all three should start an album of just talking and
That would be
music
great,
behind it.
right?
You know,
You can score it.
yeah, come on. But
yeah, we need you to score.
you know, and I think that's why that's good having cats like Punch involved and all them cats. You know, Red Dave, everybody in top, because those cats, they think about those things. For us, you know, we're not trying to beat the last thing we did. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I don't even think of music like, and none of us do. I think we're just doing whatever the spirit tells us to do. It's not really a thing of we got to top that, or we got to do that song with that tempo because that other guy's doing it, or that's what's going on, or let's go get that guy because that'll help our.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think people might have thought that because they look at the sound of To Pimp a Butterfly. It's so different than the sound of Good Kid, Mad City. But you're saying that's just an organic thing. It's not like you're going out of your way to be like, we got to go totally, you know, in another direction.
Well,
you know?
it's, you know, I tell people all the time, man. I mean, nothing. We will never repeat ourselves because we're really students of the music and we're inspired by life. We're not. I'm not inspired by too many other music people except the greats like Herbie, Quincy, and Run DMC. You know what I'm saying? You know, and LL Cool J and
yes, sir.
Claire Fisher and Prince. It's a few guys that still when I pop in I'm Bad, because I'm gonna keep it real because this is deep. The whole concept to the I'm Bad record was, you know,
to my LL Cool J.
LL Cool J.
People that don't know.
Bigger and Deffer is the name of the album.
Yes, sir. Second album. Yeah.
And that album is important to hip hop, not only because it's LL, it's important to hip hop because that was one of our. When I say our hip hop, that was one of the first fusion albums between the West Coast producer and the East Coast rapper with DJ Pooh and Bobcat and the LA Posse.
LA Posse, yes.
You know
that was big
saying?
for LL to go to the West and go with those producers.
And as a fan, I didn't know that. I just knew this is that video "I'm Bad," man, was intense.
Incredible. Crush you like a jelly bean.
And then after that, he came with "I Need Love."
Right. Set the tone.
That's innovative to me.
Right.
It was, no,
You know, people don't give that enough credit, but so I'm saying like
no,
and every
that
other-
invented the rap. But there was no rap love songs like that.
Yeah.
There was no, and it was a hit.
and every year he kept pushing the line. So I think that we're students of that format. We're students of how I'm working with Herbie Hancock a lot, and he always says he doesn't never want to do nothing he did yesterday.
Yeah.
You said something like recently on Twitter, like you said when you were 15 years old, you didn't want to play it safe. Like you made a vow to yourself about pushing the boundaries of music,
Oh yeah,
stuff like that.
young.
Right.
Young, because I spent a lot of time young. My father lived in New York, so I spent a lot of time in Harlem. And you know, the thing about the New Yorkers, opposed to the West Coast thing, our culture is so deep with the gangbang and the self-hate thing that it gets tricky with the arts. It gets weird where we don't have no outlet to go play music because it's you know you could probably get chipped over there. Or we can't. Our mamas won't let them go here, and then the crack area. Blah, blah, blah. In New York, it was different growing up in the early 90s because everybody out here knew somewhat of the art, something like whether they deep in hip hop or they go to that museum or this or even food, or everybody was a little bit more deeper in the culture in New York. So young, my friends out here were already 12 and 13 years old playing jazz, tap dancing, amazing graffiti, amazing breakers. In LA, most of my friends at that age where I grew up were already learning how to shoot, getting put on hoods. 7th grade is when you come to the age and if you live in a certain area that's a borderline neighborhood, if you're going to be a Blood or Crip, and this divides your friendship because when you're in 7th grade in your high school, we all go to the same schools. When that 9th grade thing hit, it could be different schools, and sometimes you got to choose a side, and that you go, well, you're going to be okay. Well, the friendship
Is it where
over.
your school's base is also where the gang lines are? Or how does that
It's a few components that I believe make up where you from.
Yeah.
If you go to school and you raise, your auntie live in this hood and you go there every weekend and you get put on over here and those are guys that love you and accept you, that's where you from. It's the other type of situation where if you grow up, like I'm born and raised in a certain area in LA, the Crenshaw district. You know, Crenshaw's lost and St. Mary's, Nipsey, and everybody.
Yeah,
so,
shout out to Nip, neighborhood Nip.
Neighborhood Nip, for sure, neighborhood Nip. See, there it goes. See, it comes out. But for the most part, like it could also go where you born and raised, where you're from too. You know, but we're conscious of that in LA at 4, 5, 6 years old sometimes.
Yeah, because it's in your family. It's everywhere.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I used to date a girl. Her grandma gangbang was one of the first Crips from the East Side for real, and then her mama, and then I dated her. She was real aggressive, man. You hooked me up with her. Remember her? I'm not gonna say her name. She pulled a gun on me, man. She was aggressive.
Here My Dear was not her.
No. Here My Dear was a gentle girl.
Was it Shireen or somebody like that?
No, Shireen's a piece of cake compared to this one.
But you said like the jazz community is real small, and you know you grew up with a lot of the guys that you collaborate with now, that, things like that. So you guys, you found an outlet though, you know, throughout the chaos, the mad city, I guess, to have you.
A young man from Los Angeles, basically. For people that don't know, Terrace Martin.
Right. So let's talk about these 11 Grammy nominations, man.
That's what they said.
That's what they saying, huh? Wait, how many are you like? Because I know Kendrick has a lot of different ones scattered around, but like how many?
7 of them.
7 are yours.
Yeah,
So
you're credited on For Free, King Kunta, These Walls for Sale, Complexion, and The Black of the Berry, right? Maybe I got that
album
right.
of the year.
But I hear you hitting hand through a lot of those.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's you know, I think those credits are almost real accurate. It's a few things like like Robert Glasper played on like 90% of the album.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of. First of all, the whole thing with the record coming out, or all that kind of stuff, it threw everything with the credits for a whole different kind of loop.
Oh yeah, because
and everything. Yeah.
Drop,
so, you know, everybody was involved in everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think I was involved in a few more than that, Elliot. But
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. You hit hand. Like, what's that underneath Pac's voice?
But like these Grammy nominations, you know, artists love to say Grammys, awards don't matter. Do you care about that?
What do the Grammys mean to Terrace Martin?
Or is it just like a trophy? Like, is it?
I care about it. I'm not going to. Everybody cares about it. Even people that say they try to say they don't. It's just the what level I care about it. I care about it because it brings extreme notoriety to you. And we're about the movement. So it brings that to the movement, and our movement is really just to help put a Band-Aid on this fucked up world. That's our movement. So it brings to that attention. Now it's deep because we're aware of that. We know what it's doing, and that's why every time we talk about it, or every time one thing we just try to do is really tell the main thing about To Pimp a Butterfly. It was built and wrote on a brotherhood concept. And you can feel that's why it's touching. I believe that's why it's touching so many people, because it's love throughout the music. And it's helping hands and helping spirits and different type of things through that. So the Grammys mean something to me because, you know, maybe cats that don't know what's going on with our music, how it's helping people get through life, maybe they could get it and it could help them get through life, or they could turn somebody else on, you know, or they could maybe turn us on to something else too.
Yeah, talk about how the record is connected to society and the way the world's been in the last year or so, and like a record like All Right, that's become like, some people have said, you know, in the modern day, We Shall Overcome, or Lift Every Voice and Sing, like, you know, you must be proud to be part of something that created that type of level of art.
I am, man. You know, when I first heard it, I was just happy to be playing over a Pharrell record. Like, yo, finally.
Right.
You know? And then I remember that Kendrick said, Soundwave and Kendrick's like, yo, man, we want you to come play sax on this song. And I was like, it's kind of trap, and I don't know, saxophone, it's not... And we listened to the mix, and I you know, we could see the separate files. And it's a keyboard part on there. The keyboard part is moving like, woo, it's moving different ways and weird. Pharrell put this weird thing that, it's a thing in there that triggered a lot of emotion. And I said, let's turn that up. And we turned that part up, and it was like, it's like these chords told the story before we heard the song. Like like the emotion.
Was the urgency in the chords?
It was just, it sounded eerie. And I thought that was deep for it to sound so eerie, and then the positive thing Kendrick said over it, but it's the eerie sound. It's that fusion of that mixed emotion thing that you don't know how it's hitting you, but it's hitting you. And it's that thing, and then I play sax on it a little bit. Like, play more. Like, I'm playing sax over it. Whoa. And at first I was like, I was like that on a few things, you know. Most things I was involved in, I was like, let's do another.
Because they always want you to try to see where you could take it, but then I guess you have to also judge it yourself, kind of at the same time.
Well, Kendrick and Soundwave is one of my favorite producers in the world. Soundwave is a genius to me because I think he doesn't play an instrument, but he plays the hell out the drum machines and freak samples out like I never heard them. But the good part about him not playing an instrument, he's not confined to no rules. Sometimes as a musician, we could be confined to rules, unless you're Herbie or Miles Davis and superheroes. But
you know that you're breaking the rules. You're very aware.
Then I'm like, oh. So it's good because Soundwave he'd be like, man, yo, play on that right there. Play some crazy stuff. I'm like, man, we can't get no bitches with the shit I'm playing. Playing too much jazz stuff, man. He's like, yo, play crazy stuff. So then, you know, that's what happens. But that was a proud moment to be part of All Right and see what it's doing.
Right.
You know, it's gospel, man. It's gospel music.
Another proud moment I want to talk about is, like, you know, how much a dollar costs. You know, Barack Obama talking about, like, that's his favorite record of last year. That's your song that you produced. Like, what does that mean to you, and how did that make you feel hearing that?
Man, that was crazy, you know. You gotta understand, let's just keep it real. I mean, like, it's the president of the United States, you know?
Right.
The black president of the United States, first black president. So just showing, I'm telling you, man, we love any bit of appreciation. If you love it, if it's helping you out, then that's cool. But when he said it, once again, I love when people say those things and then people with power say it out loud. Because it gets the message out.
Right.
It gets the message out of healing and everything, man. Like when David Bowie tapped in and, you know, said them things he said and how To Pimp a Butterfly inspired him, it brought us a whole nother, for people writing letters.
More eyes, more attention, more
attention to the message. But I love how people, everything I read, I'll show y'all some crazy text messages between me and some other artists. Everything I read, I love it because the people aren't saying, man, you guys did an amazing album. Most cats are saying, man, this is powerful. These things are helping. You know, Herbie Hancock told me, I love hip hop By the way, he's done some very innovative things for hip hop.
Of course.
He said, I love hip hop, but sometimes I'm from a different era. I can't get past the cussing and all this. He said, so for weeks he didn't listen to Pimp a Butterfly. He said when he finally got out of his own way and just said, let me get out of my way and just listen.
Take all my barriers off,
He said, man, he said that's when I had to find, that's when I was like, I got to figure this out. It was, and he went to the Kennedy Center and he mentioned that to his homegirl there, and that's how Kendrick even got the whole Kennedy Center thing. Herbie still hasn't met Kendrick. But that's the kind of, the words getting out and the people of power that can help change the world are putting us in a place that we could keep spreading the word. So I think that in itself is just like, that's the mind-blowing part.
But then it's twofold though, because then you have that, but then you'll have like the hip-hop head that'll say, well, I'm caught up in the trappy rap sound, and like I respect the record, I like it, but I gotta go into another zone to really listen to it. You know what I mean?
When I hear that shit too.
Like you hear that too, like, so then Kendrick obviously, where's the bars? Like we need the bars, because there's such a lack of just him on his own, the great rapper that he is, that if he goes so in one direction, does it satisfy that pure hip-hop purist guy,
Well, I feel the same way about the hip hop purists. I feel about the jazz purists, the funk purists, and whatever other purists. It's your lost. It's your loss. It's your bad.
It's limiting.
It's limiting, man. That's weird. It's weird. I mean, I don't. I don't look at it like that. But we bump into them and. We know some of our friends, family, and everything. You know what I'm saying?
No, but then now 11 Grammy nominations. Everybody loves it now.
Man,
I get it now.
One girl, I got a homegirl. She's such a fucking hater, but she's my homegirl.
I think we all have that.
You need one of those. Everybody needs one of those. Everybody needs one of those.
But she helped me out on my music. She be like, the Kendrick is cool, but it ain't nothing to turn up, and I can't drink. It's like, what's in the club? Like, I'm talking about Mo. Yeah, Mo. It's like you playing all that horn and y'all trying to be jazzy. But she loved my YG records.
I really be smoking. I really be drinking.
But before we get to YG, I kind of want to piggyback off what you said, because I think it was a tweet you said, I think after the nominations came out, you said your fellow artists going to stop using the term too musical.
Yeah.
Was that kind of like
Oh man, this is like it's new to people hearing this, what we're doing. It's one thing we did know is like, we ain't caring about much. We was in the studio like, we're not gonna have no 808, none. All right. We're not gonna. So we're gonna ignore, sir.
Right.
That was the only thing I was always like, wait a minute, shit.
But during that process, you knew you were creating something different and creating something magical.
Yeah, that's cool, but the real feeling is this too. The other side is like, man.
But I felt like
was Kendrick unwavering? Like, did it take someone's leadership? Like, was there moments of doubt? Like, what allowed you guys to never be so solid on that mission?
It was never, in the beginning, it was like, few songs in. I think after the day I played sax on Loving You Was Complicated.
Right.
And I came out the booth and listened, I was like, I hope my career doesn't end here, because this is a lot of music going on. And I've been brainwashed thinking that we've all been too musical, because that's what they've told me. That's what the business has always told me. That is up until now, my whole fucking life, To
get that validation.
That's a sense of abuse a little bit. Because you're telling a musical person all this life.
If you would just tone it down a little musically.
What was crazy in the studio with YG, because that's another level of musical to me too. That's a whole nother energy. Not to go on that instantly, but that's another thing to where that, we'll talk about that later, because that's a different mindset. But forever, people will always say too musical, and I would always ask the question in my head, not publicly, or I would ask guys sometimes, like, what do they mean too musical? Because I thought music was okay. Michael Jackson likes it, and Prince. Okay, it's different, because this is after the whole West Coast thing kind of died, and it was empty for us. There was no work. Niggas had day jobs, losing houses,
crazy,
doing bad. We was putting out a lot of free music, because Wiz Khalifa came in the game and said we had to do that. Yeah, people don't give him his props, but that's another conversation too.
Oh, but the mixtape game in that era,
really just going and understanding, give away the song. You know, one thing about YG and them did they. I remember when Ty Dolla $ign brought me to his house and said, "Dude, listen to this song," and it was Tooted and Booted, and I honestly said, "This is horrible."
Wow.
Ty, what are you doing, Ty?
B-Dot told him that
Yeah,
too.
you were right.
Ty, this is horrible.
I hated too.
Well, they hated too, but
Right?
it worked. Yeah.
Ty said this, "Trust me, bro. It's major sounding, and we're gonna give it away for free, bro." I said, "Free."
That's a pretty good Ty Dolla $ign right there.
Free. He said, selling music is old.
Wow.
Wow. They got to build the audience. Yeah.
He said we got to give it away, and hope something happens.
Wow.
He says it's the same kind. He taught me this. It's the same concept of when I go to when I was younger, come to New York. The concept of the New York jazz musician is, let me go to as many jam sessions as I can, because that's how I got to get known in New York to get a gig, to get a $75 gig, a $125 gig a night in New York, where the jacket costs more than the whole gig. Let me try to outplay all these people and stand out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the concept of Ty thing. Like, man, we got to just treat it like a jam
So the new
session.
generation of the West Coast almost had to take a step back. Like with such a rich legacy, they almost had to start from a
that's
from a
why
position.
that's why YG is really important to that West Coast culture right now.
Well, speak about that. You were saying something about his musicianship. I guess you were thinking about YG.
His musicianship is he Rick James. I mean, he's I look at YG like a funk singer, and I look at Kendrick like a jazz singer that might give you a Sly Stone record sometime. But YG is a funk singer, man. He like Rick James.
I love YG. I actually bought that record that you did, Twist My Fingers.
Oh, word. Thank you.
It's a great record.
Thank you,
Classic
man.
YG. I know you're working on Still Crazy with him, right?
Yeah. We got some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Let's love to try to challenge these great albums and go right back to another one.
Hey, man, you know, it's just right now, man. It's
But I mean, not to cut you off. But I'm just gonna say, is like with the YG record, you sampled Funkadelic, right? Paul, One Nation under the Groove, I believe.
I replayed that.
Oh, excuse me. But also, it feels like, is that like the legacy or the cornerstone of like the West Coast now? Because you got that with Kendrick and his new project, and now with YG, he's kind of going, I guess, into that lane. Is that
Twist Your Fingers was really, that was like a throwback type energy,
right? It felt very West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from there,
LA,
right,
baby.
Exactly.
From there. I I tell this is my cousin's first time in New York. We all from Dirty South Central. That's what we call the South, the Dirty South Central. You know, South Central.
That's funny.
But we out here, I'm taking him to all the delis and the bodegas and everything, and he's learning that the sandwich is an important thing to New York culture.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Us, it's the taco.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can eat tacos every damn day. You know, and there's different ways of making the taco. You can have your black taco. You can have your white taco. Or you can have your authentic taco.
Right.
You know, but the taco is big for us.
Yep.
So it's why was I talking about that?
But we was talking about the sound with YG and
The West Coast sound of YG.
Yeah, the
Twist Your
funk
Fingers.
It was a throwback, and just that sound is a real part of our culture. You know, Funk, Roger, and everybody. But and I talk about layers of music. That's the early layer. The early layer to that sound is Parliament Funkadelic,
right?
And Roger Troutman and Zab, and you even got. That's just the early layer. I like James Brown mentioned those, but then you have another layer that I grew up in, which is the DJ Quick and Battle Cat layer. So when I was doing that beat, I was kind of just jamming and hanging out and paying homage to Battle Cat, because that's really my hero. So it's like, that's how I say thank you with music. Like the King Kunta record, like we look at that as thank you to DJ Quick for what he did for us.
Yeah, took the Mossberg record.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So instead of saying thank you, the word, we believe in action. So that's how sometime we'll do a tribute record or a thank you record and like, thank you, man, and we'll push that on because he's still the master of that sound. I just copied that. He's the master of that sound.
And even Mad City with MC8, you did the Ice Cube Bird in the Hand, the BB King thing over, right? The BB King sample. Yeah. And then to get MC8 on the record, not just pay homage.
Yeah.
How did that come together?
Kendrick had that record. Kendrick had a piece of his verse and the MC8 verse, and Soundwave already had the drums. All it was the drums. And I remember that record because they sent it to me. I was in New York again, always in New York.
You love the weather here, don't you, Terrace?
Well, you know, it's you know what's funny is because like my earliest memories of my learning music a lot comes from New York. So I'm here like once a month, like you know what I'm saying. But
they reached out to you in New York,
and he reached out to me in New York, and they had the BB King, but me and Simon was like, man, why don't we just try to come up with something like. Just come with something, you know what I'm saying? So that's the blues. So we was just on one and just came with some other shit. And then it was dope. It was dope because they sent it to me, and me and my boy Marlon Williams plays guitar. That's him playing all the guitar on all the Kendrick records. Playing guitar, but it's dope doing that record because it's so West Coast, bird in the hand. But then again, that sound to me, even though Pooh did it, is very Hank Shockley, Public Enemy. So it was dope because I had a view out of my room, and it was just... You know, I wasn't in Brooklyn or that energy, but it just looking at New York rushing in the summertime and looking at out the window with the headphones on and and the MCA, I always believed the MCA should do an album with Premier. I've always believed that, like a whole album with Premier, because that's just two extremes to me. You know what I mean? And it was giving me that vibe.
I think he did a remix or two for him and stuff.
Yeah,
but they never did a full thing. Yeah,
but it gave me that vibe and. Yeah, that was
So who were you paying homage to with like Black of the Berry? Like that's possibly maybe my favorite record on that Good Kid.
Good Kid, Mad City.
And it came out before the album came out too.
And that record was just amazing when I heard it. It felt very Public Enemy. Was that like a nod to them?
That record came about. That part of the record with the drums and everything was already done. And we added a few things, guitar and everything, but that was already done by Boy Wonder.
Right.
And then we kept listening to that record over. That was one of our favorite records. Man, one of Dr. Dre's favorite records. It was one of his favorite records.
Yeah.
Whose idea was to put Assassin on it? Because, I mean, you guys are from the West Coast. I know it's not a big West Indian kind of population out there, so it felt very unorthodox, but I loved it.
Well, it's like Ice Cube Wicked.
Yeah. NWAs did that too.
And also, just that that thing is big for West Coast. Like Snoop in the early 90s, Dr. Dre, they bust gunshot. Like we always was infusing.
Classics,
and we always made one of the homies.
Way back, I think.
We always made one of the homies like, hey, man, I had a homie named Rudy on Watts. We thought he could talk. He used to be like, hey, boy, you know, but we thought it was, but on record, he was killing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the homie that did the I Get Wicked on Ice Cube. Young kids look that up, Ice Cube's Wicked. But the guy that did Wicked, the reggae part, is a guy named Don Jaguar.
Who got his own deal too, right? I think.
He got his own deal, but then Don Jaguar, you know who Don Jaguar is? Yeah. Earl from Earl's Wieners. He has one of the famous hot dog stands on Crenshaw forever.
Oh, wow.
And he's from LA, and it's like, but he... So in West Coast hip hop, that's just always our thing. Like, it always felt edgy to us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that made it sound like the 90s to me.
And my part of the elements, did you add to that record?
It was a statement where I kept playing back in my head that I was just like, yo, we was trying to figure out what do we put after this song? What's the next song? And then, or something like that. And then it was like, what's the last thing when he say, gang banging, make a nigga, gang something, kill a nigga, black as a me. Hypocrite. And it was, then after that came, because it was like, it was so like, or you wanted to do that mixed emotion thing again and go, So no matter if you didn't get that line, that mixed emotion will make you come back and why do I feel that way? So if you're not gonna feel that way about the line, you damn sure gonna feel that way about the music. Whatever you're gonna feel away, and the message is gonna convey to you.
Let's talk about that message, because I think it was even around the time when the album came out, Kendrick did an interview in Billboard, and he was basically speaking about how, you know, it was all trendy this year to be like Black Lives Matter with all the terrible police brutality, but he was saying, look, we got to clean ourselves. Black on black crime is just as prevalent. We'd have to look at ourselves, and that song kind of explores that. I know you're real passionate about that topic, and I feel like he caught a lot of criticism, which I think probably surprised some people that people would take it that way, that's a negative. But can you explain the viewpoint of that and what is expressed in that song that sort of exemplifies it?
Really, it's about being, you know, I always think about that concept as like a man with a family. It's like all of us could be boys talking about our wives or girls and yeah. But it's like I can't really tell you about your problems because my household's messed up. I got to deal with my own household first. I got to deal with my own first to really just. I can't just be helping there. I got to deal with my own if I get to help out. So I can't be on crutches and help you walk. You feel me? So that all goes back to that where it's just like I understand there's a lot going on in the world and we are all part of the world. And we're all humans and we all are one. It's just hard to see that when at the end of your block your best friend get killed. Or it's hard to see that when you know you got about 20 people that was once your best friends, but because of the level of success, now you can't trust these certain cats. Or you got this, or you got that cat dying over there. And then on top of that, you getting all these things in here. Now you got your other people that you feel so connected to, like the Mike Browns and all this, the Earl, all that. You got all that going on at the same time. So it's like, yeah, I could cut on CNN, but I ain't got to look that far for no evil. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I could go over there and do a lot of things. But I gotta, it's home. I gotta get home, right? As a, you know, I tell everybody this. It's like all lives matter, man. But all lives aren't under attack. That's all. That's all. You know, people get on me at Twitter all the time. Hispanic lives matter. I say everybody matters. Everybody matters.
Right.
I say everybody matters, but everybody is not under attack. Is what I'm saying.
And people
not in America. In America for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. And I say, I'm a black man. I believe my people are under attack, so I'm speaking from that perspective first, because that's home. That's home, you know. And we have to get ourselves together.
Putting each other under attack.
Because I'm not even talking about the attack. Don't just come from the police, and it comes from that dude look just like me.
Right.
That what he got, either he got red or blue and blue or this or anything, or he honked the horn too hard, anything. It's like I'm talking about. It's like people don't understand, really don't know how much we go through other people.
Right.
Is it still as bad? Because you always talk about the 80s, 90s era growing up in that. What's gangbang culture like now in LA? Is it just as prevalent?
The drugs are different now. And you know, the kids are starting doing drugs a lot earlier now. Because the parents are, you know, think about it like, I mean, I'm 36. My son's 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
a lot of the parents are late 20s, early 30s, basically.
Right.
And you know, the culture's for real with the positive things and also the negative things. You know, so it's like a lot of the cats that have parents that probably don't understand that it is a way out. These things breed this other energy. So when I see the gangbanging now, it's deeper because they're younger now. They're like 13, 14, and they're 14, and some of them, you know, I got little cousins that's going through it right now. They got more funerals than anybody I know. YG is younger than me. He's like at the 24, 25, I don't know, how, something like that. But the way him and his friends talk about death is deep. Oh, John just got killed. What? That's crazy. Rest in peace. Oh, some just got killed. What? Some, oh, what? He got killed too again? What? He got shot back at home? What was This generation is so desensitized to death. It's crazy. So, and that makes it where the killing becomes easier sometimes.
Right. You spoke about death too. I saw the interview. You said like when you were recording Mortal Man on To Pimp a Butterfly, like you had a friend that passed away.
Yeah. We a best friend, a dear friend, man. Zane Musa was one of the best saxophone players in the world. Definitely one of our heroes in Los Angeles. Right. He was me and my friend Kamasi Washington's dear friend. And just a cat around the community that would have been on the record because he does all the sessions. If you look at all the records I produced, Zane Musa's name, and he committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother. You know, I used to tap on that real quick. I used to always judge like, that's the weakest. But you know what, man? As I get older, man, I realize, A, everybody got their own thing. And B, you don't never know what that feeling's like until you come to that dark point. You know, some of us have it, some of us don't, you know. But I now understand that it's a thing that it happens, man.
And Kendrick explores it on the album. Right. In terms of depression, and, you know, he explores those emotions on the record on To Pimp a Butterfly.
And you know, just know a lot of these songs was done on all these. Sometimes nobody would talk in the studio. It would just be an energy.
Yeah, like how do you communicate after he cuts the verse to you? It's like you just like got to give him his moment. Like it's not like what we gonna order for lunch. Like it doesn't really.
It was just a lot of people experienced some things to that album.
That's why I said, like, when we did our reviews, I feel like this album rewrites the rules on survivor's remorse because he's confronts so many different nuances on the project. But it's terrific.
But how do you then not let the emotion overcome you in the sense of the vibe of that? How do you keep it productive and overall
energy up?
Cause my crew, me, Kamasi, Thundercat, our base is really, is really being jazz musicians, and at the end of the day, this is not a hobby, this is not even a job, this is a spirit thing. So you don't stop when that happens. You play music and that's the only way we react. We don't know no other way but to do. My father suffered a crazy heart attack and went in the end of Mortal Man 2. Stop. I might not play that song in my set. But it was deep because I got the call and I ran out. And my uncle was crying like, man, he's dead. His father's dead. And I was like, okay, I gotta call you back. I gotta deal with that whole emotion another time because it's not fair for me to bring those emotions in to the session. My father told me that. He's a musician. And it's not fair for me to bring my personal emotions to the bandstand. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to you. So it doesn't exist to nobody but you. So you deal with that component within you and your own spirit. You have a body of work to do, and you knew the responsibility of being a servant of the community and a musician. This comes with this shit. And sometimes we sacrifice families and we be okay fathers, a lot of weird things in this business. But these are the things that you sign up for. Because we have a whole community to help lead. And then when we pass on, they got to help lead the next cats. So I can't let death and that's, people are scared of that. That's the epitome to be.
Of course.
I can't let death. And when I came back, I went in there, I prayed, meditated for like 11 seconds. We did the session. Everybody left. I said, okay.
Then you could have your moment,
Remember that time? I was, got it out. Woke up next day. My dad was cool, did the next day. That's just how, even with the Zane thing, when we found out he died, because we got the call, we were doing the strings for Mortal Man. The end of Mortal Man, when the Tupac, all that kind of stuff. So that was already eerie, right into that.
Yeah, right? That's already been the studio, Pac's voice.
It's already eerie, man, because I really don't play with certain things, man. I'm not all super, but I'm just like, man.
I remember you said like the music business is not for the weak, and obviously,
hell no, it's for no weak.
For that.
But the Zane thing, because we found the cat was in Miami at the airport. He had his saxophones with him. He was walking to the terminal. The lady said he was drunk, drinking, and he kept saying, man, I missed my flight. I'm sick of failing. I missed my flight. The dude then walked around, smoked a cigarette, told the lady I was next to him, can you watch my saxophones real fast? And then he just ran off the building and killed himself. But watch this, he didn't die instantly. He was still mad he was alive when he hit the ground. So when we got the call, he was just got to the hospital, he was still alive. His parents called him. So we all, let's pray for him real quick. And I'm smoking weed, laughing like, man, Zane he cool. What, he tried to kill himself? Okay, he gonna be cool. We'll get him right, get him back to LA, shape him up, get him fucked up, hug him. We probably ain't told him we love him enough. Hug him because we brothers like that. He gonna be cool. And an hour later, they called back and said he didn't make it. And this is in the middle of writing. It was one photographer that whole session. It was the middle of writing where me and Kamasi writing the chart, and we say, what? And I was like, and we paused for a minute, for like 5 minutes, and instantly, I think somebody was like, play bar 5, and it was just,
Wow.
So hearing Pac, we was crying. We was recording that.
Wow.
I was like, yo, we hearing Pac. These niggas talking about changing the world. This dude is gone, and all this, and the music is. We wrote to that, so instead of talking about it, stopping it, we just wrote to that. You know.
Were you surprised that Kendrick, like with songs like You, that he bared so much? Like, does he vibe with you guys before that, or he just kind of goes in the booth and just you don't know what he's gonna come up with in terms of stuff like that?
I was just surprised because a lot of those thoughts are so personal.
Yeah.
It's so personal for an artist to do that. That's an artist. That's the job though.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the job of being a real artist. You don't have a secret life. Everything is out.
It's all gonna come out eventually.
It's all gonna come out. Either they're gonna write about it or lie about it or say it, but it's all gonna come out.
Right. Talk about like this communal family that you guys have, man. The Untitled record, man. Colbert Report. I mean, Stephen Colbert's show. Like, where is that record, man? What's going on with
that show in New York? Y'all got it. That's for y'all.
Because I read some interviews. Was it impromptu or?
He had like an idea with him, but it was small. It was small compared to what it ended up, and that was a lot. That dude is special, man. He's special, man.
So wait, how does it go? Like, okay, he's booked for the show tonight. He calls everybody in, and it's like, look, guys, I want to do a new record. Just play something. You had your own solo set.
Nah, he like Kendrick's doing the Colbert.
I think it was the Colbert Report, right?
Colbert, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dave called. Dave.
Dave Free.
Yo, you niggas Can you do it? Okay, all right, man. Dave going fast. So yeah, we didn't know exactly what we was doing until we got to New York, the rehearsal. So we flew to New York and we rehearsed the day before the gig. And me, Thundercat, Deion Frawley, which is his musical director, Anna Wise and Blau, we all was in the room, and I'm asking Deion, I'm like, yo, what are we gonna do? And he's like, I don't know what we gonna do. I asked Kendrick, yo, what are we gonna do? And he was like, just figure it out right now.
So there was no talk of doing a song from the album. You knew we weren't going to do that no matter what. Yeah,
I thought we was.
Yeah, I
thought we was going to do something. Because I got no. Dave has said he wants to do something scaled down.
Okay. But that could be a scaled down off one of the records.
Dave said something scaled down.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I didn't know. I'll just show up with my horn. Something will happen. Or you got a keyboard there, or something will happen. And we got there, man, and the rehearsals was one thing, and it was like, yo, this came together.
Right.
We're tight. This is different. But the show was something different.
So you weren't expecting that solo, or?
I was expecting the solo, but not. We knew I had a slot to do something, but it was a Thundercat played something different on the show.
Oh, wow.
And it triggered just another portal, man, for like. It just triggered. It was in the perfect musician purist world. Right. He made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
But we welcome mistakes. We welcome all mistakes. We welcome all mistakes in life. We welcome all mistakes in music. We welcome all mistakes in all. We welcome that because that's what life is.
Right.
So we embrace the mistake in our crew. We embrace it. That's the mistake. Now let's make it. Let's
so it kind of opens another door, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
we call it throwing things at each other musically. Kendrick goes, we like throwing things at each other. Who could catch them? So Thundercat, just the spirit of music came in, and we're not in control of these things. Something just happens, but something happened, man. It felt like. Ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Lamar. Boom, 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 boom. What the man say? Open your mind. But then when he played the bass, man, boom, 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 and it was something else, and it just went that fast. So it went from, because I remember I was shooting dice on the ground, and it went from that to me going, it's different now.
Right. Okay.
Now we're in the moment.
Gotcha.
Now the rehearsal's over in the moment.
Right.
Because we're in the moment. So we don't like doing things twice. We got to do it in the moment because we love the imperfect shit.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, man, that's life, right?
Right.
That's improvising.
So did you have any insight for this new record he just did on Jimmy Fallon's show, Untitled 2? Because you weren't playing on it this time, but
Where was you at, Terrace? Where was you at, baby?
how did you miss that? That was a great record, man. Great performance.
How did I miss that? Well, he didn't call me for that. He had to call me
Bastard.
for that. Let me tell you how deep he is. When y'all heard it, I heard it.
Oh wow.
I text him, I said, what was that? I got him. What was that? Ha 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 ha. Little something new. I said, oh, you like throwing things. He like, that's what we do, man.
Yeah.
We throw things at each other. We know.
What did you think of it? Did you like it?
Oh man, yeah.
was
I
incredible.
said, oh, we did it again. Even if I ain't there, we
Yeah.
did it again.
The team.
You a part of that, you a part of that. The culture's part of that. Look how you look at hip hop now again. They like us again, guys, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. So do you know this record is that just gonna live on the internet, or is that gonna be something? You have to have some
It's
kind
over.
of
It's a
insight.
moment. It's over, man.
Fuck the moment. I want an MP3.
I know. He always. He won't.
I like to buy.
I want to buy
And
now.
we like to sell. We like to sell. But no, man, it's just a moment, man. It's a moment.
Well, speaking of moments, Punch was saying, remember we had Punch on, he says one of his favorite moments session was the for free interlude, because he feel like he came in the room and you guys were just all jamming and the whole energy of that interlude. So I guess even with that and the Untitled performances, is it almost like the next Kendrick album could go even more jazzy, even more just like that direction? It seems like he's finding his pocket as a performer, and sort of stretching the envelope even further in terms of, what
I
he's
think
doing.
we'll go further. I don't know. We won't do this. This is over. It's over now. This belongs to everybody else more than us. This is not even ours no more.
Yeah.
It's over. It's now. We got to keep pushing the message, but the music is over now. It's yesterday. It's over.
But the music sounds like it's leading more towards your pocket, which is jazz. Just and I know you also talked about it a lot, like that. People they had that whole jazz rap trend, and then people try to act like it was corny, and now this is being done the right way with real art.
Because it was corny.
Yeah,
it was corny. From people, it was what I liked about it back then is that it got the message out, but I wasn't concerned about the message at the age that was going on.
Yeah.
It didn't make me move. It didn't make me move until Tribe Called Quest did it.
Yeah.
And when from Bonita Applebaum to Check the Rhyme, when they did it,
it had authenticity to it. Yeah.
Because of Tribe Called Quest, I play jazz. Not because of my father, I know it and I grew up with it, but because of Tribe Called Quest, the Low End Theory is why I wanted to play jazz. I wanted to figure out what is peace to wherever you are. And it's Red Clay, Freddie Hubbard, Lenny White on drums, Herbie Hancock piano, Ron Carter bass, Joe Henderson sax, Freddie Hubbard trumpet. Boom, 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 and they got Ron Carter to play. Boom, 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 boom.
Verses of the Abstract.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, he played on that album. Yeah. But that was a sample from him on that album.
Of course.
And that record, man. And Check the Rhyme. I was, Big Boy on Power 106, down on Power 106 on 92.3 The Beat. Big Boy in the morning. Big Boy on 92.3. But he was a DJ for he's way older than me, but in my junior high school, every Friday they would have him come DJ. And that's how we heard all the new hip hop. That's how we heard the Juice soundtrack. That's how we heard, y'all remember the dude named MC Brains?
Yeah, of course.
Uchi,
Light-skinned
Uchi.
brothers.
I don't know MC Brains.
Light-skinned brothers.
Sounds
provocative.
And Juice was out, but he would play these records. And I remember every time he would play Cypress Hill, Sawed Off Shotgun, but he played a High Five record. But every time he played Check the Rhyme, the low end was like boom, 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 and it was like we didn't know at that age. You don't know East Coast, West Coast, nothing. You don't. I still don't give a fuck about all that. But it's like all you know is it sound good.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was like Tribe Called Quest. I was like, oh, and then I learned young. I asked. I looked over Big Boy's shoulder. I had to be in 6th grade, and I noticed the vinyl look different than Cypress Hill and everybody else 12 inches because on wax, the more the grooves. If you got thin grooves, the record sounds thin. If you got more on the vinyl, the grooves are longer. They could put the whole song, use the whole time with the vinyl for one song. The grooves could be thicker for the low end, and that sonically was just a bigger record than everybody. Because I don't know whoever the idea, whether it's Q-Tip or whatever, but whoever did that, when you drop Check the Rhyme, the low end was like, and it stood out with the jazz on top.
Right.
Fast forward to Pimp a Butterfly, a song like We Gonna Be Alright. To me, that's a Tribe Called Quest homage, because it's new with the trappy thing, but it's the low end with the jazz on top.
Right.
It's just for the younger generation to get it with the way the drums move.
I want to talk a little bit about like your formative years. I know, you are kind of like an autodidact, even though you had Ben Wendell teach you how to play saxophone a little bit. You had the opportunity to go to school. You had a scholarship from Jay Leno, $30,000 scholarship. You went to the college and then you dropped out, correct?
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't want to go to school.
What happened to the 30 grand?
Sorry, Jay Leno.
My first day of kindergarten, I knew this was going to be a rough ride. Because I'm around all these unhip motherfuckers my age. This motherfucker crying about a toy. She want an extra carrot. And I grew up around all old jazz musicians.
Right.
So school was always tricky until I started playing the horn. It was always tricky because I didn't play sports. I didn't gangbang, but I was clear with the language.
Right.
And I grew up deep in it.
So you was a good kid in the Mad City as well.
I was a kid. I got into a little trouble later on in age, but not too much trouble.
Right.
Small things.
Petty shit.
Small things to me.
Right.
Little boosting.
Meet the Flockers.
Gun case. Anyway, look.
Gun case.
It's the culture.
Right.
But what was the question?
I was gonna say you got a $30,000 scholarship.
Why'd you do Jay Leno so dirty? Why'd you do Jay Leno so dirty?
That's probably. I didn't do him dirty. I didn't do Jay Leno dirty. And I like Jay. I love. That's my boy. I like Jay. I love Jay.
Did he call you like, come on, what are you doing?
No. Well, you know what happened, dog? In college, this is what happened. I was young. I was like 18. And it was a school called Cal Arts, which is an amazing school, one of the most hardest schools of time to get into. And it was me and Ronald Bruner. We did the audition. Ronald Bruner is a phenomenal drummer from Los Angeles. That's the artist Thundercat's brother. He's just one of the big guys in LA. But me and him did the audition, and we got in. And it's rare you get in. It's a real thing. Cal Arts is a real thing. And I remember everybody was so happy we got in and they had dinners for us at home. And you're going to Cal Art because it's 30 racks a year at that time. Feel me? It's one of the #1 schools in the nation for the art community. So Ronald had a ball, but I remember I checked into the dorms, and it's like it was a dorm and a bathroom and another dorm. I couldn't understand the concept of 4 people sharing one toilet. This is really what happened. And it was so dirty. So my living experience in college wasn't just what I wanted it to be.
Right.
I didn't grow up living. I grew up in the hood, but the LA, I tell everybody, and people don't mind me, I love LA. But our ghettos are a piece of cake to a lot of other places.
Right. That's true.
So I didn't grow up, no matter what the rap records say about how we all grew up and this and that. We all grew up in houses and parents and everything. We just grew up in hoods. So I'm used to space. So that was messed up. Now, the other thing was this. One thing I did learn, the only thing I learned from Cal Arts is this. My roommate at the time was, I forgot the Asian kid's name. He was a visual artist. And I noticed, why would I never see girls in this room? I'm trying to remember, like, girls. Then I found out he was gay. He told me, he said, just for the record, you keep bringing back girls here, and I don't mind, but we got to respect each other's space. And I didn't know. I was like, what you mean? He was like, well, I'm gay, and I don't have my friends come and everything like that. It was weird that first week, but this dude ended up being one of my best friends in the world, man. And that taught me a lot about human beings, too. So the lesson I did learn from Cal Arts is really how to treat human beings, because that dude was just cool and loving. And going to an art school, they told me you got 2 rules. You can't say the word nigga, and you can't use the F word, the faggot word. You can't say nigga or faggot. The dean told me that. He said everything else is a go. Enjoy yourself. People was walking around naked, all kind of shit at that school. people would paint themselves green for Halloween and say I'm green. So, but answer that, it was fun.
Yeah.
Right.
The serious note about why I left college is also because I was walking to my class. No, that's another story. I was walking to my class, and I was fresh out of high school, and I got the call. My godbrother said, yo, this is your chance. I said, what? You've been praying all your life to work with Snoop Dogg. He needs a horn section for his group called the East Siders. They doing Jay Leno's show. And I was saying in my head,
It
cool.
all connects.
It all connects. Cool. So I go back to Jay Leno's show. He's like, Terrace, how's college? I'm like, I love it. Because, you know, he bought me a horn.
Right.
And I'm looking at Jay Leno, and I'm looking at Snoop, and I'm thinking about Cal Arts because it was finals. I didn't go. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Snoop just walked through the hallway smoking a blunt with fresh fruit backstage, and a guy opened the car for him. He could say what he wants on record. He's doing music he loves. He's successful at doing this. This could work. Because the crack era really fucked up my family. So I didn't see good things financially with musicians growing up. I just saw amazing musicians growing up. So I didn't really believe you could make a real living doing music until Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
You know, no, he didn't play jazz, he didn't play this, but his story was rougher than mine. Way rougher than mine. And he survived. And he was so humble. So I did the gig, and I remember I said, Snoop, I do beats too, because I was always doing beats.
Right.
Before I played horn, I should have been from Boogie Down Productions. That's how I felt in fourth grade. Because all the gangsters played the J, the I, the M, the L, the Y. It's Jimmy.
The teacher.
Yeah, you feel me? But that was gangbang music in L.A., like Pickin' Boogers, Biz Markie.
Yeah.
That was gangbang music to us. That's all they played. But I just knew I wanted to do that, man. And the next day I went to school. I think the teacher said something like, Terrace, you didn't learn your recital? And I just looked at him and said, it gotta be more than life than this shit. I gotta start life now. Because all my friends in college, kids stay in school. It wasn't for me. All my friends in college, they got out, they just starting life again. As a musician, nah, I'm gonna get in the paint. But that same time I left, I lied and told my mom I was going to school. But watch this. I ended up getting a full ride next year to go to USC.
Oh, wow.
So I said, okay, Mom, I want to go to USC. So I checked out. I went to USC. I lasted there 2 months because Snoop went on the road and said, y'all, you want to go on the road? You play keyboard too? I said, yeah, come on the road. And I went on my first tour. That was 4 months. So by then I was like, that tour said, I'm going to be rich now. I'm not never going back. I don't need nothing. I didn't tour for 2 years after that. But but that's what happened. I was strongly influenced by other things, but I didn't quit.
It's Snoop Dogg's fault.
Yeah, but I didn't. You're right. I didn't quit school. I knew if I had to quit school, I had to have a fucking plan.
Yeah.
I had to have a plan because my mother was an A+ mother, and she did a lot of it, most of it alone. It was me and her. Living Crenshaw Motel, different places, growing up.
But got you a lot of equipment growing up and all that stuff.
Later on sacrificed her music career to go to school to get a good ass job and able to get me good equipment and everything. So that's why I take her everywhere. I'm taking her to the Grammys and everything else.
Nice.
She my homegirl.
Dope.
But I just knew that I had to have a plan. So I said to myself, I'm going to do music, and I called my dad. I said, Dad, I'm gonna leave college. He said, cool, leave that shit. Leave it. But but go hard. He said, and don't have the concept you need something to fall back on, because you don't need shit to fall back on. If you a musician and you serious, then you go hard. You study the craft. You learn how to read music. I already know how to read music. You study the theory. You learn how to write for strings. You play piano. You learn how to do all kinds of music. Don't just be no fucking jazz musician. Don't be no fucking funk musician. You just be a musician.
Wow.
And you love it all, and you whatever you don't love, you find something that you love about it, fall in love with it, and play it. So I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Right.
But you
I'm
played
about to stay in college. But I left with that mindset, man. It was rough. You know, it's rough. It was 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 rough.
Did some productions you didn't get credit for.
It was that, but that's also why being that kind of musician. You know, my family, my punch could attest everything, but I also had to live a bit of a different lifestyle while I was a young musician. That because I knew the walk of life of where I was coming from, my soil, South Central LA, and I knew the language of the streets and knew how to hustle and do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with a hustling father that played music, but let's be real, playing jazz in the era I grew up, in the crack era, we wasn't making no money.
Right.
You got to hustle. So I grew up with a different lifestyle too. You know, I didn't grow up it was beautiful, but I had to get it myself a lot of different ways. No, I never fought, killed nobody, but I know how to get $1 quick.
Right.
On your block.
Right. You also said that, recently
not your block.
But not my block, right?
But that sounded good for the podcast. That's some hip hop shit I said. On your block.
Well, you said like the beat maker, the producer are important, but not the same.
Mm-mm. They're not. Some strange person commented on that and said, well, I don't care about if I send a beat to somebody, I'm getting my production credit. And I said, see, a lot of things, good things hip hop has done some strange things also. Hip hop has done magical things for us. Things that, think about it, it's created more successful. I mean, come on. But some of the things within hip hop has misled some people with what things are. Like the producer.
Right.
Because in hip hop, the producer wasn't that important before. It was the DJ.
Right.
So the value for the musician and the producer has always been a little strange up until I really say the Roots showed everybody that everybody could be appreciated, the musician. But the producer and the beat maker are different people.
Right.
The beat maker is somebody that sits home or studio and crafts beats.
It seems like as if...
No, that's the job.
Right.
Yeah.
And they give you the beat, and it's the beat. The producer is somebody that produces the record. The beat doesn't make up the record. A record is one thing. The beat is a part of the record.
The lyrics, everything is part of
the producer is somebody that produces the overall record. You can't be the producer if you just did the beat and left. Once that record is sent to artists like Kendrick or YG or Drake or anybody, and they do their song on it and they're chopping up things, adding bridges, getting it mixed, adding instruments, you are just a beat maker. You're a writer. You just programmed the beat. You're a writer though, but you didn't produce the body of work. You're a huge component to it, just like the producer is, and that's in hip hop. And other music, sometimes the producer, I've been called to produce records and not write them. I produced for Diane Warren. She has.
Oh, Diane Warren. That check must have been
Name drop.
I produced. I know.
Diane Warren.
I produced with Diane Warren, and I learned she wrote the whole song. The chord structure was written. The song was written. She said, "Terrace, I just need this to become a record." It was written, so I added drums, bass, strings, horns, percussion, backgrounds, this, that, and I made.
So you produced it?
I produced it, but I didn't write it.
Yep.
So I don't get publishing.
But do you think it's also because of a lack of, you can play the hell out of a saxophone also, like there's a lack of musicianship, people that, kids know how to make beats, guys that know how to rhyme, but they don't really can't read music.
Yeah.
Like, and people say a lot of the fault of it is obviously the school program stop having music available. Like, what do you attribute to such a lack of just this new generation being musicians? Like, is there a chance for a young Terrace Martin to develop it all that?
Man. Yeah, man. I don't care where is he from, but he's out here and he's ready. He's 17 years old and better than me right now. We just got to hear him.
Yeah.
These gifts aren't even, these are just, they transfer, man. Shit. But I don't want to call it a lack of, it's not a lack of anything. It's a lack of understanding. Because you have a guy, like I said, you have a guy like Soundwave, he don't play. You have a cat like the legendary Jay Dilla, he didn't play. Knife Wonder don't play. Jam Master Jay don't play. I mean, but these cats knew about all different kinds of music though, so they didn't play, but they knew about different things.
But we don't have enough cats that can play though. I'm saying the other side of it, don't you think?
It's a lot of cats that could play.
Okay,
a lot of cats that could play. It's just not. It's still not a lot of respect for the musician. So it's a lot of cats that could play. New York is I keep coming out here getting energy. When I find them, 19, 18, born and raised in Harlem, playing hard, just trying to get to the hip hop so they could communicate with each other, but I'm trying to bring it together, but it's really a lot of them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So it's more the divide, you think? There still isn't. Yeah, it's still unembraced. Like, what's this guy doing in the session? Like, it doesn't fit. Yeah, how most people are crafting and making their music.
And it's still not that popular to have live instruments because musically speaking, from a musician standpoint, in that group of soul music and love soul music, a big thing about soul music is soul music hits your soul like elements on the music, different instruments and everything. We're helping out you know, but if we could have some other guys help to do it on records, like Drake. I love Drake. I think Drake is a superhero musically.
Right.
You know, sometimes I wish his music had a lot more depth to it, because I always think he's the master of the song.
Yeah, he's a great songwriter
and hits crazy. I just wish sometime when I play this album it had a little more deeper music, only because he's so great. And I just always feel like sometimes musically it doesn't come up to him. And he has such a huge influence that everybody wants to rap like him.
Right.
That imagine if Drake did something like an orchestra one time, or something with that, or something with a big band.
He's kind of had those elements, not necessarily, I guess, with the band. Well, like Lord Knows. Or
not enough elements to touch. Not enough elements to where we have a fluid kids, you know.
Oh, okay. Like influencing others.
Yeah, we got influence.
Gotcha.
We got to push the culture. We have to influence, and he has a huge influence. To me, he's the best. Right. You know, Drake is amazing. So I think cats like that. I love how J. Cole's is he always dabbles in live instruments.
Right.
You know. But, you know, I think once it clues in like that, it'll help out.
That the leaders are doing it. You're doing it with Kendrick, and the other leaders.
We need other leaders, man.
It's
It's like they don't got to do the jazzy. It's other elements of music. It don't got to be jazzy, because King Kunta ain't jazzy.
Right.
Twist Your Fingers ain't jazzy. That's the funk.
That's funky.
You know, but like Drake, I love Drake. When I hear Drake music, I always wonder what would Drake sound like if one of the producers listened to a week of Steely Dan and Sting. And then get Metro Boomin under that for the bottoming of the drums, but have like the Donald Fagen energy on top, and have Drake sing them beautiful melodies, and then it just stop with Metro Boomin drums, and then he give him that, bust a quiet shot, as he do. We hear you. Bust a quiet shot, then go back to his Drake thing. But because he does that musically, he does that on the mic. But the band, the music never does that.
Right. But is it like you said? There is a rivalry there with him and Kendrick. Is them both respecting their own lanes? Is that like people may want Kendrick to be less messagey and more just hard hitting hip hop, and maybe you want Drake to have a little bit more consciousness? Like, is it them respecting each other's lanes? Or
I think Drake is extremely conscious. I think he's conscious because he touches a part to a heart that we all have. Dudes always say, "Oh, that." No. Every dude in here done cried over a woman. Yeah. When your woman do something weird, or you feel like you done something weird, and everybody done felt them feelings. So Drake is singing the blues.
May hear my dear right now.
Drake is singing the blues and good records, man. Drake, to me, I look at Drake like another member of Police, the group Police, or I look at Drake up under the Sting umbrella a lot of times. Yeah. You know. I don't think to me it's no rivalry thing. It's like Drake is doing his thing, Kendrick is doing his thing, but they're both spreading the message of love, man. Yeah. That's it. Right. So I think we all one group. That's why I feel comfortable saying I feel Drake should do this. It's not dissing Drake or dissing no producer. Yeah. As a fan of Drake and as a fan of J. Cole and Meek Mill and everybody else, you know, I think everybody should do a little bit of it. Like, hey, Meek Mill, let's put a little more things in your thing. I pull up on you too, or let's go over there. I pull up on You
talked about a fellowship.
Let's fellowship, because in the jazz community we believe in fellowship. In the hip hop community, it's like,
why you look at me?
Well, the West Coast hip hop thing, it just got kind of cool, but that shit used to be like gang banging.
Yeah, it was worse.
I used to find myself frowning and didn't know why. I was mad in the morning, younger. When I first started, like, why am I mad? I'm on the road, like. But that's and everything I'm talking about is coming from a straight humble perspective. It's just I just want the culture to grow, you know.
And I saw you in the studio too with Mac Miller and Robert Glasper, right? What you guys working on, man?
We Mac is doing some music, and I play on a song that Robert I did, but nothing concrete.
Oh, okay.
Just say what I love Mac. Just hanging out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just nothing concrete really. Just
but you're working with Travis Scott though, right?
I did work with Travis Scott.
Pie?
Yeah, that was different because I wasn't familiar with Travis Scott. Mm-hmm. Sycamore called me for that one. That's my bro.
From the YG,
No. I've been on Sycamore since Snoop Dogg mixtape days.
Oh wow, yeah, that was the start. Yeah,
I've been on Sycamore since
that's how you got on. Yeah.
I've been on Sycamore since True Life.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
because True, that was my bro. That's still my homeboy. We've been through some real things together. True Life was real here and in LA. He snuck a gun this big into the club. in L.A.
That sounds
But
accurate.
let me tell you who was at the club. Listen,
Amazing.
this was a BET award. Maybe it was a water gun. It was a water gun. It squirted water. Allegedly a water gun. But at this club, it was. I don't go out in L.A. because I'm scared sometimes. I don't want to take no chances, man. I'll be cool. I tucked away, and I'm scared for different reasons. It ain't like it's like, nah, I'm staying low. We doing too cool right now. That's how the enemy come in. If he tests me, that's all I need is a case.
Right.
So I stand for those reasons, and I wanted to stand this night for that reason 2 years ago. He like, yo, True, yo, Terrace, I'm out here. I'm like, oh, fuck. Because my girl's with me. I just had a newborn baby. I'm like, that's what's up, man. So tomorrow, we gonna go to the studio tomorrow? Nah, B, I'm out here. I want to go out. Come on. He had just got the Rockefeller chain.
Okay.
He like, I want to go out. I'm like, all right, let me call some of the homies. Because I know what's up, so I called some of the homies. We go by the hood, pull up the homies. We go to the first thing, Cabana, something like that, club. And, it's like 7 of us. We get to the front. First people I see in the front, this is Suge and a few other cats and everybody. I mean, I'm like, we ain't tripping though. Cause Suge good, he was cool. Suge always been cool and respectful and everything, But that's not always the persona and the energy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When people from out of town was coming to L.A. and it was a gang of other guys, I can't mention their names because the guy got thick. And then that's when, True Life was in all the magazines for a minute. It was coming. It was looking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So one of the homies called me, one of the big homies, hey, what's up? Who you with? Who that? With the 2 Rockefeller chains on. Them icy ones. So instantly I'm like, oh. Because he was Suge. And I'm like, oh.
Right.
I know the play. So I'm like, man, he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, they acknowledged this. So I go back, I'm like, hey, look, we gonna hang for a minute, but we gonna bone out though, go to the next spot just because, we just gotta be cool. Because I'm from LA, and that was like a pass, like, yeah, okay.
Right.
I mean, we'll come on. Because at that time, it was shaky still, so I told True Life, we was in the club, I said, look, dog, we gonna bone out in a minute. He like, oh, why? Because all these Crips and Bloods here or something? And he loud. I'm like, bro, you with a ganger. You would just be cool. We gonna get out of it. Okay. Then he said, hey, B, we really good. I'm like, yeah, no, you good. He like, nah,
we
you
really good.
I'm like, yeah, man, we good. He like, okay. He like, okay. I'm like, man, we gotta really go, cause this is gonna get strange.
Right.
Cause if something happens, at that time, if a New York dude comes out there and does something crazy under my time, and me who I am to LA,
it's gonna be bad.
So I was like, but I had to be conscious because True look out for me in New York.
Right.
I'm talking about used to pull up. I used to be younger and get into other artists. Def Jam used to always pay me to do I love Erica Bowen and OG Wan, but I was working with other artists. Sometimes they'd pay me slow and I was younger, so I'd take their hard drives and go back to LA. So one day I said, okay, I forget the artist's name. I'll tell y'all later.
All right.
The artist's name, but I got into it with the artist over the phone. He's like, yo, B, you in New York, son, you better watch out. I'm like, I was by myself. I was like, fuck you, bitch ass nigga. Fuck you, nigga. Holla at me, nigga, and I got your hard drives. Tell him pay me. Def Jam, pay me. Somebody said 11 minutes last, like, niggas ain't gonna pull up on me. Somebody said, Terrace, you got somebody downstairs to see you. And I was like, I was with my homeboy Tick. Tick was an A&R at Warner Brothers at the time, white dude. I went downstairs. There's all these guys with Yankee hats on. 7 of them. I said, what? So I'm like, I tell the lady, bitch, if you let these motherfuckers up, because at the time, look, let me tell you, at the time, I'm at Battery. You remember Battery Studio?
Yeah, of course.
The old giant building. Yeah. You go, it's only one way in, one way out.
Old ass building.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and I'm living at Battery in the big room, working with Guru, everybody. So I'm like, man, don't let these niggas up yet. I'm like, yet though. I'm not. I was young, so it ain't no don't let them up. It's like, no, what's happening?
Right.
Niggas, this ain't nothing. But let me get my thoughts together of how this is going to work out.
Let me gather up, yeah.
And if this doesn't work out, then I got to do my humble role hard.
Right.
Sorry, I was just drunk. So I didn't do none of that. I said, man, I'm going to call True. I said, hey, man.
Yeah.
What? And a couple of them worked closely with, at that time, the Harlem guys. So it's like what? True Light pulled up.
While they were still outside?
They was outside. No, at that time, he's like, okay. I said, hit me when you downstairs. In your van, he had a van. He's like, all right, hit him in the van. So when he's walking the van, it's like, I went downstairs by myself. I'm going to go downstairs. I told my boy Tick, the white dude, let's go downstairs. He's like, no. I said, we good, go downstairs. Because, you got to know how to operate everywhere. One thing, I know how to operate. I spent a lot of time here. I know how to operate. So I go downstairs. I'm like, and I'm not now. My energy is not boisterous because I'm downstairs now. But I still ain't. They're like, yo, you talking crazy on the phone? I was like, yeah, I was talking crazy on the phone, man. So I felt you was being disrespectful to me. So I flashed back. So I apologize for that energy. But this energy right here, we got to chill on this. Because if you coming up here to do something, we not with none of that. He like, then you better get it right. When I blinked my eye, I couldn't even say, nigga, you better. It was like about 26 Puerto Ricans with KC hats on. Cause the kitchen's got a hood out here. When I saw them, I was like, I felt like a real LA nigga. I was like,
cavalry's here.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we don't want that energy here.
As I said, that's what I was saying.
He turned around, he saw True, and True walked by himself. I'm like, oh, this nigga really got New York shook up. It was like, and he was willing. Unfortunately, his heart is so extremely giving. It's giving in all areas. At that time, he's a way calmer cat now. But he was so passionate.
All in.
The word passion is deep because luckily a lot of us have passion behind writing, dancing, art. That same passion, the same passion that goes behind somebody with a gun too.
That's true.
That same meaningful thing goes behind that. So that's why we had to correct the passion young with the school systems and everything. So he had a strong passion and he loved who he loved at that time and he didn't like who he didn't like, but he was always defensive.
Yeah.
True Life has always, every story you hear about him has always been defensive.
Yeah.
And that taught me a lot working with him in New York because he wasn't this rah-rah dude. People they thought he had long hair and was light-skinned and was,
Yeah. But that was the Sycamore connection.
Oh, yeah. See,
and
we
now
all,
working with Travis Scott before we get out of here.
Sorry,
See how I
Sycamore.
stay focused?
I know, you got to give me.
Because Pat got to go home. See, he's texting his wife and stuff right there. He got a place to go.
Travis Scott. I didn't know Travis Scott was. I went to that session kind of blind. Sycamore said, yo, got this kid, Travis Scott, come in the session. He's into a lot of music. So I looked up his stuff and I said, man, this is at the tip of a butterfly. And I said, man, I'm all in. Because I love a challenge.
Right.
I won't do nothing if it's not challenging. I'm all in. And when I got there, it was shocking because Travis Scott is one of our most musical hip-hop artists of today. That dude is a young genius to me. He's bad, man. He's bad. He knows how to layer things. And there's so much stuff in his music that you're not going to hear.
Right.
But he's into that, and he's into trying things. Right. Hey, let's do that. He like to jump up and down the studio. He'll jump on you and all kind of weird shit.
Yeah,
but that's his thing.
Right.
And man, it was fun, man. It was fun, and he's rock and roll. He's like Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's up before we get out of here with your album, man? What's going on?
What you got going on, man?
Velvet Portraits.
I'm out here. I'm actually mastering my album tomorrow.
All right.
I can never sequence it until I come to New York. So I'm out here. I'm playing out here and hanging out here, but also I have to sequence my album in the wintertime in New York. Because it's so LA, I got to have a different look. It's LA to me. To everybody else, it's going to be jazzy and this and that, but I just know what it reminds me of.
Okay.
You know, and it's called Velvet Portraits. It's a simple concept of just things that make up me. You know, things that make up the music. And it's like I'm doing all these throwback kind of things with new elements to them just to still help push the culture. Right. And to still give a reference point for younger people of where we got these things from and everything. Because I'm putting out 2 records next year, Velvet Portraits, and the next one I don't have a title for, but the next one is more mainstreamy type thing. But this one is dope. And this one has my father, you know, right after he got sick and I almost lost him, I flew out there. He's in Omaha, Nebraska teaching. I flew a whole band out there and I recorded my whole album with him playing drums. Because he never really got to play drums on a modern album. So I flew the studio out there and recorded. So it's dope that my father's on my album. Yeah.
How important are these solo projects? Like, what are your goals as a solo artist? Are you trying to will be a solo success? You're part of such a strong
just
collective.
Really
like, what do you try to impact with?
I'm just doing my job in the culture.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing things out. And so people could always go back to things, or I'm just giving people more options.
Right.
You know, more options, and more options, and just staying busy. It's like, I don't just want to work with that person. I want to work with everybody and just stay busy. You know, I don't like Quincy Jones. I'm not name dropping.
No, it's your man though. It's your man.
That's my guy.
No, the Diane Warren was just funny. That's what I thought.
And I asked him. I asked Quincy and Herbie, how do y'all stay so young and vibrant? Because Quincy stay young.
Yeah.
Player. He's that young and vibrant. And he said, man, because I stay doing music every day. Because it's not a job. This is a life. This is it. You know, it's not a job. And sometimes I stress myself out making up my own deadlines.
You said the sax is your woman, right? Is that still?
Yeah, man.
The sax is his lady friend, man. His wife.
Man, she's
got
so
kids,
cool.
but that's his wife.
Yeah. Well, you know, now it's my wife until I get a wife.
Yeah.
My wife till I get a wife. Because I want to live life. I want to be inspired by life. So I want to do things that I never used to do. Like, I never did regular things. Like go to prom, and I did, but like, you know, Snoop would fly me out with him to Super Bowl sometime. We'd be on the field or the playoffs of the Laker game on the floor, or just different things like that. I'm always around, and I'm always like, man, when is budget gonna ring so we could go? And that's most people like, yo, you know. So I missed out on a lot of regular life because of the music. I stayed in the practice room because I had to, because I didn't want to get killed coming out the fucking house. So I stayed in the practice room, and now I'm living life, and I'm finding out my music is feeling better. Even I can hear it in To Pimp a Butterfly because I'm inspired by life things. Yeah. And my relationship with my woman is good now. That always hasn't been the greatest thing in my life with women, because I love women. And I've always had a lot of different vibes and women in New York, women in Los Angeles.
I thought you were going to say that's what Quincy was saying the key was.
Nebraska women, Hawaii, Australian.
Award tour.
But you got to do that short film with Khaled first, though, man.
Man, yo, you know about that idea?
Yeah.
I tweeted that.
You tweeted about it.
Can you hook me up with Khaled? Do y'all know Khaled? Can somebody hook me up with him?
What's the idea? I missed it.
He said he wants to do a short.
I want to do a short film, 10 minutes on Khaled and score it. I want to make a real dramatic music and just let him be him.
Yeah, this guy J1's. I'll give you J1's email. He'll make it happen.
Please, man. I want to work with Khaled.
You said Seal too for this album.
I want to work. Yeah, well, I couldn't get him on this album, but I want to work with Seal. I want to work with Sting. I want to work with all those cats. Bruce Hornsby. You know.
Well, after you get your handful of Grammys. Nas.
Anthony Saleh, make it happen.
Yeah, we know him too.
We got the hookup.
Hey, it's a cat in New York, though, I'm looking at.
Dave East.
Oh, man.
I knew you was going to say
that.
Oh,
my God.
Like that Dave East? People say he needs to be on this podcast. They might
to get him on it.
Let me tell you something. Dave East, to me, just being a fan of hip-hop, I always listen to an artist what they're going to sound like. You know, he's sparring right now, and he's doing a damn good job. But I'm excited what he's going to sound like, too. You know.
You're right. Because
he sound, when I hear him, and by me growing up young in Harlem, he really puts me, he sounds like Harlem. And that I finally, no disrespect to anybody, but for me, in my age, it just brings me back to what I remember Harlem being. And the language that the Harlem man speaks, because it's a hustle soil.
Right.
you know, and it's an educated soil too. And it's an art thing with the Sugar Hill. It's a thing that Harlem that he speaks to, you know, and it speaks to the world because it's a hustle time and survival time. Yeah. I think Dave East is the guy. You know, I haven't done music for him yet. I plan to once things get more clear for me because I want to make that special if I ever work with him. Like the same thing with the LL Cool J, the same thing with the Dr. Dre 50, the same thing with. We could go on. I believe Dave East has that power.
Cool.
You know?
Man,
I just tweeted him like, man, I like your music, man. I'm listening to you and Ty Dolla $ign. I like your music, your shit hard.
That's dope, man. So you got that Grammy speech ready, man?
Shit, man.
And the winner is Terrace Martin. We out of here, baby. Say your speech on the way out.
Just don't put it online, so one of my baby mamas gonna be tripping because some people just you know, the Grammys don't equate money.
Just to get your head out my pocket. You have to change that phone number this year, Terrace?
Nah. My son grown. She's still trying to get something.
Oh, man.
It's crazy, man. But thank you, man. Thanks for coming through, man. Back to these cold New York streets, man.
Yo, man, I overpay child support. They send me money back and she still wants more.
You sound like Future right now.
Future Hendrix.
He got a few more.
Oh, man.
He got a few more. He got a lot of money, so he gonna be paying a lot of time. He gotta put out records every 30 days. I want to work with Future.
There you go.
I think he's the future. I think he's our only blues singer in hip hop right now. I think he's important to the B.B. King and Johnny Walker legacy of black music. I want to say that because everybody, all the peers diss him and all this, but stop tearing him down.
Kendrick had bigged him up in the New York Times. Everybody's like, oh, see?
I didn't even know that, yeah.
Like, oh, see?
Metro Boomin is the future of that sound to me. Man, you know what I'm saying?
So we're in a great space in this hip-hop thing, man. And you play a major part of it, man. Thank you, Terrace.
Thank you,
coming through, man.
Thank y'all for having me,
Absolutely,
man. Yeah, man. Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.